I was in a meeting with the CEO of Instagram in
Mm,
California, and the
wow.
first thing out of his mouth was, "These business owners need to stop sharing their passwords. There's a
Mhm,
right way for agencies to access an Instagram account, and that's
mhm.
not password sharing." And then he continued his speech after that, but that was the first
Yeah.
thing out of his mouth.
This is Right Media Group Chronicles, your shortcut to sharper ideas, smarter moves, and creative breakthroughs. Let's roll.
So today I'm joined with Anthony Tectoni Lloyd, founder of Pathfinder Digital Marketing, ranked amongst the top 3% of agencies in North America. Anthony is known for blending technical mastery with a nerdy enthusiasm for pay-per-click. He's on a mission to make digital marketing fun and accessible. Anthony, welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Can you share your story of what led you to found Pathfinder Digital Marketing back in 2015?
Whew. Well, it's been a while. 2015. I think that's what my LinkedIn profile says. It was by accident. So I have a career in IT, working for the was Department of Defense. Now it's Department of War. We're not going to get into that below. But anyways, I was working for the government, and I also work at a private military contractor. And a lot of those skill sets don't exactly easily transfer to civilian world. So I started working in car sales. Funny enough, for Toyota, Southeast Toyota was their executive sales rep, and like. For those of you listening, if you've ever sold anything, you know it's hard and it sucks, especially in a car dealership. And so I did what most business owners would do is, how do I advertise? How do I market myself? How do I this and that? And so with that, I came across what was digital marketing. Make yourself a website, do YouTube videos. I was watching a lot of content online about how to advertise myself because I was sick and tired of walking outside, chasing people around, trying to train my team and getting them to sell cars. So I created the online personal, which was Toyo Tony. And here's the thing, I used to be Toyota Tony, and Toyota Tony got so popular enough that Toyota corporate themselves called my boss, and they told my boss, "Hey, we see what he's doing. It's great. This isn't why we're calling you. He can't use the name Toyota. He could do anything else, but he cannot say Toyota Tony." So that's how Toyo Tony came about. And that Facebook page is still up. You can go watch the horrible, horrible Facebook videos I was making at the time. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. Biggest thing, it sold, and I was able to push cars with that. So a good buddy of mine here in town was like, "Oh, you know how to do digital marketing." He was a graphic designer, and as a graphic designer, he would build websites, and some of his clients would be like, "Hey, can you run Google Ads?" He's like, "I don't know what that is." I had just learned what this was. Mind you, I had no certification, nothing. I didn't become a Google partner at all till probably 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years now. So I didn't become a Google data engineer till about 2021. I didn't know crap. I didn't know anything. And so, long story short, he was like, "Hey, we have a really bad need for that in this area here in Dothan, Alabama. If you don't know where Dothan, Alabama is, you're not missing much." There's two things about Dothan. One, we're the peanut capital of the world, or of America. And two, we're an hour away from some of the most beautiful beaches in America. So if you haven't heard of Dothan, you're probably driven through it. And so he was like, there's just I need people, my clients are asking for Google Ads. There's no one here that's running it. Do you mind taking them on? And so I just did. I landed across by luck, and a really good mentor of mine. His name is Matt, who runs Matt PPC up in New York. Just happened to meet him by fluke, and he aided me on this stuff. And it was funny because I was still working at Toyota, and he's like, "How much is Toyota paying you to run Google Ads for them,
Mm.
or to do digital marketing, run your YouTube videos and stuff?" Because mind you, I'm just doing this stuff. And I was like, "Nothing. They're not paying me for anything. I'm still getting paid commission off the cars that I sell." And he's like, "No, this is a whole job. Like, this is a career path." He's like, "Dude, you're pretty good. You should just quit Toyota and do digital marketing, run Google Ads." And I'm glad I did. It was definitely scary, as most of you probably listen to this podcast, or business owners, or starting your own business. It's a very hard thing to do. I had some great aid and counsel when starting my company. Matt continued to push me on. I started learning Google Ads, Analytics, Tag Manager. He got me into the Google for Developers program, and then I studied and passed my test to become a Google data engineer, become a Google partner as well. And in fact, the test to become a Google data engineer was so hard. I passed it on my first try. And Matt said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you passed it." I'm all, "Why?" He's like, "Well, the first time I took the test, I threw up afterwards and I failed because you're sitting there at a testing center. I don't know if you have these in the UK, but it's a place where you test. That's all it is. And the test went an hour and a half and get no response from them. They'll just be like, "Is that your answer?" I'm like, "Yeah." "All right, cool. Moving on to the next one." So you have no idea what happened. And at the time, I just had my first freelancer at the time working for me, Tim Tompkins, who ends up being my best friend. He's my business partner now. He just started working for me, or working with me, I should say. Google, for whatever damn reason, emailed him and not me. How that happened, I don't know. But he said, "Congratulations, you passed your test." So I had no idea I even passed my test. Like 3 weeks later, no clue. But they sent the email to Tim. They never emailed me saying I passed my test. But they sure as hell emailed me telling me I have to renew every year. So that's how that came across. And now top 3% North America. We are now a full service agency. We even run Reddit ads, TikTok ads, Pinterest,
Wow.
SEO. Our specialty and focus is Google and Bing, specifically Google ads for small businesses, especially lead generation type businesses. Our bread and butter is still small businesses, even though we have 175 clients in 14 different countries. We run ads in 3 different languages, English, Spanish, and French. Some of our clients are traded publicly on the NASDAQ. So it's really funny when you run Google ads and your ads affect the stock price. That's
Wow, really?
interesting. I have several clients that are in that vicinity where they're traded on the public market in the United States and in the UK as well. I'm actually, fun fact, I'm actually not even allowed to buy stock in those companies because it would be considered insider trading because that's how much I
I
know about this. That's
see.
how much
Yeah.
our ads
Yeah,
are
because you'd be affecting the stock price with your ads. Wow.
my actions can affect their stock price. It's my lawyer was like, "Hey, this is great. Just take the money. Don't buy stock." I'm like, "Oh." So now we're pretty fairly good, nice sized marketing agency, but our heart and soul less rise with small businesses that are struggling to advertise effectively online.
So you focus on small to medium-sized businesses. That who's your kind of target audience, your
Yeah,
clients? Yeah.
so we don't specialize in any industry. Like a lot of marketers, they only do realtors or they only do dentists or they only
Yeah.
do capital law, whatever it may be. Tim and I and the group of marketers I work with, we all study Google search
Mm.
and we specialize on applying Google ads to our customers customize. So nothing against agencies that specialize in just one thing, but too many times I see them doing cookie cutter stuff. And so a a accident attorney in Houston, Texas doesn't need his ads ran the same way as an accident attorney in Atlanta. So when we meet with our clients, we have a very customized strategy for their Google ads. I even had 2 bankruptcy attorneys in Dothan, Alabama. Neither one of them ran ads the same way, had the same message. Their ads were very customized to their needs and experiences of what they wanted to do. And so that's what our agency specializes in is like we apply display, search, YouTube, retargeting, audience, all that fun stuff, but we design it on the client's specific needs individually.
Mhm.
There's not a lot, and there are some industries we won't work with, like some franchises, we just can't work with them because our hands are tied creatively. But
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, most of our clients are small to medium-sized businesses, and we do have some fairly large clients as well.
Did you mention that you have clients across 4 countries?
Yes.
Yeah. So what countries would they be? Just a curiosity.
UK, India, we have some in Japan, Australia as well.
Yeah. Nice. Do you have any in USA as well, or?
And USA, Canada, Mexico, yes.
Yeah. Wow. That's definitely more than 4 for sure.
Yeah, well, how many countries did I say? Anyways, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. Wow. No, that's incredible. And do you? How big is your team currently? Obviously, you're expanding rapidly.
10. Currently, we have 10 that I work with every day, and then like another handful worth of freelancers that we work with periodically that we have on payroll.
Yeah. Okay.
In total, probably 14 on a monthly
Mhm.
basis.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you mentioned working for Toyota, and obviously you had this kind of mini brand going on to get customers organically attracted to your specific car place, and now small businesses to medium size. So how did those experiences shape your marketing philosophy?
Well, for example, video content is very important. Whether you're doing SEO, running Google ads, YouTube ads, video content is very important. Being that I've been in the, I don't ask my clients to do anything that I don't do. And so it shaped me in the sense of like, I understand when I talk to my clients, we have a lot of one-on-one meetings. Some of them are what I call come to Jesus meetings where they're serious. Like we have to have a serious conversation with the clients sometimes and lay it
Oh,
out
that's
for them.
incredible. I love that.
Yeah. But I get where they come from, where they're like, "I don't have time," or "This is hard," or "Can you help me?" And we try to aid our clients because at the end of the day, right now, AI is a thing. Yes, you can make AI generate content, and some of it's funny and good to use. But at the end of the day, statistically speaking, content provided and done by the client always does better than anything else that they can possibly make up. And we handle social media accounts for some of our clients. Some of our clients pay us what I call the "you handle it" price, where they don't want to deal with it. So we make the posts, we make the descriptions, we do the hashtag research, we AI some images, we use some organic stuff. They send us pictures now and then. But at the end of the day, if they give us what we need, it works better. And it's that conversation with the client where digital marketing is a two-way road. If they get me I'm a damn good marketer, but if they don't get me what I need, I can't do half my job. We have a client right now that wouldn't even get us a logo. They don't have a logo for their company. So my graphic designer just made one up and we're running with it because we needed something. So it shaped in the sense that like I get where the client's coming from. As a business owner, as Tony, the owner, I have payroll to deal with. I have our own content for the company to deal. I have the everyday drama of employees and just things I have to deal with. And so I get the client doesn't like having to do that. If I'm dealing with an HVAC client who doesn't get me video content I tell them, hey, I need this. I need evergreen content. We just had a conversation today with one of our clients in the mattress industry where, he did give us content, which was great. We have some evergreen content that we can use year round in between his sales type of stuff. So coming from that, I feel like I have a good connection with a client where I understand what they're going through. And I also understand I think a lot of marketing agencies, especially corporate-based ones, they forget that businesses, regardless of the budget that they have to advertise with, that budget they give us. That's something Matt told me. And another marketer that I work with, his name is Marshall, who owns Sociality, not Sociality, but that's someone else, Zen Marketing as well. He said, you have to remember that these companies give you a budget, and that budget is the difference between them keeping employees or them having to fire employees. And a lot of marketers, especially corporate-based ones, where they're trained, they have salespeople that are trained to throw up words that sound fancy. We can geofence your ads. We can track people. And it's this fancy wording that they use, and business owners are like, "Ooh, that sounds amazing." And business owners don't have the time to research if what they're saying is BS or truth. And so as a marketer, as a small business owner, I take the time, I sit down, I explain to the client what we're doing, how we're doing it, how these fancy search terms, these fancy words you hear don't adhere to your business, and the budget they give us. I'm not here to meet a sales expectation like all these other sales reps are doing. They're just pushing sales, pushing sales, pushing sales. And at the end of the day, I've seen, sadly, I get calls sometimes twice a week. They're not my favorite phone call, or a business has been hurt. Like they're in a sensitive industry like ticket sales or they're realtors, and all of a sudden they're facing fines, which is a thing. You'll get fined in the United States, or their website gets taken down, or their ads aren't running, and they don't know what's happening. It's because a sales rep sold them something and these sales reps never touched a damn Google Ads account in their life. They don't know what to expect. And so sadly, it's not my favorite phone call to get, but I get it. And I try to help these clients out to fix their online reputation. And so that's how I'm able to relate to them, because I'm a small business owner. We don't push sales. Obviously, we're a company. We make money off what we do. But at the end of the day, the client's going to have a good, fair game plan. They're going to have understanding. And the budget they give me is literally going into effect if they're able to stay open. And I feel like a lot of marketers forget that. They're just pushing sales. That's it.
Yeah. No, you come to the table with them and you explain how things are. Obviously, sometimes you won't achieve the results you want because there's a new privacy on Facebook or Google that obviously came out, and it's a
My
struggle.
God, yes.
So why do you think even experienced agency owners struggle to price their services properly? So this is getting into the pricing structure of agency owners.
Well, for me, I've always been so in the Dothan market, I've been told you're expensive, but to the rest of the world, I'm a steal of a deal. And my biz partner and my CFO, we had this conversation where right now, AI is a competitor to marketing agencies. And this year, I have lost several clients that are like, I'm just going to have AI run my Google ads. Now, I've lost four. Two came back because yeah, they came back, and, and so how I structure my pricing is I have 2 things in mind when I structure my pricing. 1, I have to be as cost effective and better than them hiring someone in-house to do it, because 'cause I've lost clients that way. Because there's a point where just hiring in-house would just be cheaper, but is hiring that in-house person gonna have the same skill set and mindset that Tony, Tim, Colton, whoever run my company has?
Mhm.
And 2, I have to be better and fairer priced versus an all AI system. There are some all AI Google Ads systems out there. Like anyone who's familiar with Google Ads themselves, Gemini is integrated into it. Now, Gemini's not running the ads, but it's definitely
Mhm.
giving you suggestions. They're not the
Mhm.
best, but they're there.
Mm.
But I'll give you 2 case studies. One, a digital marketer that I friends with on LinkedIn, he set up one of those all AI Google Ads accounts, and he's a digital marketer. And it's just like setting up a prompt. What you ask it, it's what's just gonna spit out.
Yeah.
And he spent time there telling it what to do, how to do it. I mean, he's a digital marketer, so he knows the lingo to ask. It still didn't do a good job on there. Um, about, I think it was 2 months later, it was just crashing the account. My client that left me, he was like, he not just fired me, he fired like his employees. He's like, I'm going all in on AI, all in on machine,
Mm.
all in on that. He fired everybody in the company
That's a
besides him.
risky decision to take.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, "I'm trusting the tech," which is true, we're going in that direction.
Yeah.
In 90 days, he came back to me and he set it up, and I was like, "What happened?" He's like, "Well, I set it up and I forgot it," which is you're not supposed to do that. Clients pay me to manage their account, manage their money, be responsible with it. Well, the AI was losing revenue 10% week over week. No business is going to survive that, no matter how big you are. And so he just came back 2 weeks ago. We fixed everything. Now we're just maintaining it, seeing what happened. So I would love AI to do a better job. Honestly, it would if I can, because I haven't raised my prices in 5 years.
Wow.
So if I can have a system where I work less and make more money, that's a no brainer for any business owner at all.
Yeah.
But I'm not s AI is important, and
Mm.
every business should figure out how to implement it into their business to aid them. It's definitely not there yet as of this recording,
Mm.
can do the work, all of it. My agency, we've been using AI 3 years prior to ChatGPT coming out. Back then, it was Google Bard.
What was it? Sorry, Google Bard. Yeah.
Google Bard, and then, Google had that whole finagle, and so they changed Bard to Gemini. It's the same damn thing, they just changed the name. We were using Google Bard prior to ChatGPT coming out,
Yeah.
and I use Gemini and Manus for me internally. My second in charge, Tim, he loves ChatGPT, except he doesn't like ChatGPT 5, but that's a whole other conversation. So when it comes down to our pricing, long story coming around short, I internally have to know I have to be cheaper and better than them hiring someone in-house, which is
Mhm.
a viable option. They don't have to have me, and I gotta be more effective and better than what the AI can currently do. Because we use AI to
Mhm.
help us. One of the hardest things in Google Ads, I feel like for me personally, is coming up with catchy content or descriptions and titles that aren't just cut and paste.
Mhm.
I use Gemini personally to come up with fancy creative and verbiage to put into the client's account. Sometimes I tell the client, "Hey, what do you sell?" And they're like, "Socks." "Okay, tell me about."
It's kind of their unique angle. Yeah, sometimes you will get better ideas from the actual Gemini or ChatGPT because, yeah, like, for example, empty pages, like coming up with ideas. Sometimes that's the initial struggle, isn't it?
Yeah, coming up with creative, and not just creative, but creative that's different from what everyone else does. Because everyone does the free consultation or buy one get that type of stuff. That's good to have in your account. Clients would expect to see something like that, but we got to have some catchier verbiage that fits within what
Yeah.
the description and the title size that Google allows to
Yeah.
have.
So obviously you have, I mean, you mentioned close to 175 clients, and there's about 14 of you managing that currently. Where do you use AI to manage that workload? Because it's a lot of clients to deal with, and I have to say you guys are clearly doing great. So what kind of tools do you use to manage this?
Well, I use Manus AI and Gemini. I've been leaning a bit more towards Manus because it's been giving me some really good tips lately. But the biggest thing is keyword research. When we work in our accounts, even our small businesses, we're shuffling weekly through hundreds to thousands of search terms, and that takes hours to do. And now we are able to use Manus short description, download all the search terms for the last 7 days, throw it into Manus and tell it, hey, we train. So Manus has a file on each of our clients. So we're not just throwing random keywords at it. We're like, hey, this is the file for our window tint company. Please review it. Tell us about the keywords, tell the last 7 days, compare it to the previous 7 days, blah, blah, blah. And then I could let it run and I could keep working on something else or disputing things on the account. And then it spits out a nice summary going through thousands of keywords, hundreds of phone calls, all the data, and then giving us good insight. And I sit there and read it, and it does a good job. So I gotta give it corrections or whatnot, because again, it's only spitting out the best that it has to work. And by the end of the day, it saves us hours worth of work just going through keyword research alone as well. Working with if our graphic designer is taking a day off or is backlogged on some work and I just need some simple edits done to a picture or an image, helps us with things like that type of situation. One of the examples I use it for is Facebook marketing. I'm not a Facebook marketer. And so I'm not good at reading the data that Facebook gives me specifically. And so if I'm not able to get a hold of my Facebook guy, throw it in Manus. I tell Manus, hey, give me 3 areas that we did good in and give me 2 areas of improvement and make this in a way that's client facing so I can explain it to the client. And it does its thing, looks at Facebook, looks at the website, goes along, and then spits out a nice document that I then am able just to read off to the client or give to the client so that they have an understanding of where we had success, where we didn't have success, and what we're going to do moving forward for the next 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been very helpful with that because it takes up a lot of the mundane work.
Of course, yeah.
Especially with search terms. I cannot stress how many hours I save with search terms.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, do you use any kind of CRM to manage this package of clients?
Yeah, so I'm turning over to look at it. We use Slack and HubSpot to help us with our clients. And then for the day-to-day activities, we use Asana.
Asana, I don't think I've heard of that one yet.
It's a task manager and I live and die by it.
Okay. So it's good.
No, very good. Very good. Yeah, I wish I was better at it. Tim is exorbitantly good, but like if we're like, I need to do this, I will put into Asana and assign it to myself or assign it to who needs to do what job. And I know it sounds like we have our shit together. I promise you we don't. We constantly run into problems all the time as a business, but we've definitely solved a lot of issues, especially by having a clear structure of who's responsible for what put into Asana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then due dates.
So that's kind of like an internal tool that you use, like, oh, this goes off to that person, that goes off to this person.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. What would you say are the hidden cost agencies often overlook? Obviously, you said you like the education, and I think putting a lot of content also out there is not billable work per se. So what would you say are the hidden cost agencies often overlook, and specifically in your situation?
Ooh, hidden costs. That's a good question. Taxes is one.
Okay.
Don't forget to pay your taxes, guys. It is. Well, my hidden costs can be, well, for All right, for example, if I'm taking over an account, a lot of times the client has no idea what the previous agency did. And so when we take over accounts, like either it's a Google Ads account or a website, it's kind of, I attune it to undoing a ball of yarn. We're untangling the situation. Because, clients, I'm dealing with one right now, a website we're taking over, for example, and my web developer had an error when transferring the website and this isn't the client's fault, and this isn't even the previous developer's fault. It's, in our agency, we practice clear transparency. So our clients own every one of their assets, and we have what's called delegate access to work on their stuff. And a lot of business owners don't know about this to protect themselves. And so right now we are working with their current web developer, who is a great person to work with, to get the website onto a host where the client will maintain control moving forward. And then we're going to have to move domains. And those of you that are listening that had to move a domain, the heartache that deals with that. And then making sure, who has the correct access. All that costs time. That is time that my developer has to spend on undoing this ball of yarn that's all knotted up, and then putting it in a way that the client has a nice usable ball of yarn to do whatever they need to do with it. And it's the same thing with Google Ads. We can go into a Google Ads account and we can spend hours just not necessarily auditing, but trying to figure out what was done and then what wasn't done. And too many times do I work with another agency or get an account where analytics wasn't set up right. Tag manager wasn't on the website. Hell, I've worked with clients where they're like, oh, we're doing SEO. I'm all, fantastic. Can I have access to your Google Search Console? And they go, what's that? Oh, shit. Because that means they're not doing SEO.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's shame on the marketing company for being deviant with this client, not doing right by them. And then sometimes it's the client not having any idea what's going on. And so all that is time. I mean, as a business owner, as the owner of the company, at the end of the day, I am the cheapest and most expensive asset for the company. If I can save the company some money and do it myself and not have to bother my team, I'll just do it, even though I'm not supposed to be doing it.
I see.
I'll just do it. My admin, Ingrid, bless her heart, when we first hired her, she would just sit there and watch me doing stuff. And if I meandered off, she'd be like, no, you don't do that. I will do this and assign it to somebody. So that's money, regardless of what it is, it's costing somebody something. And so me as a business owner and you as a business owner doing it yourself, you're the most expensive and you're also the cheapest asset in the company when it comes down to it. It's remembering that as well.
Sometimes it's hard to offload the tasks that you usually deal with, and now there's another person that you've hired for it. It's kind of offloading it. It's hard, isn't it? Because you're like, I can do it better. Like I've been doing it for how long?
Yes.
It's hard to let go.
Yes, it is hard to let go.
Yeah.
It really is. And I've gotten better at delegating tasks in the company. One of the things one of my mentor told me to do, and I'm still practicing it, mind you. He's like, at 5:00, you get up and you walk away from your computer, and whatever crashes and burns, you hire someone to handle that.
Wow, that's
It's no
very good.
longer your responsibility.
Yeah.
I have a team. Remember, I have clients across the world.
Yeah.
So there's a 12-hour difference where I'm asleep. Where when I was first marketing, when I first doing this, I had to be up at 3:00 in the morning to have a meeting about Google Ads with my client in Australia.
Yeah.
I have clients in the UK, which gladly I'm able to just log in and be here at work early in the morning to have a meeting with them. But I have a team to help handle that. Also, AI helps with that because we have clients that run ads 24/7. Clients in the funeral industry, where if grandma passes away at 2:00 in the morning, they want to make sure their ads running. And so there's no way I'm going to be up at 2:00 in the morning checking those damn ads.
Yeah.
It's that. Although the beginning was very hard because I had a client in Australia and I had to be up at 3:00 in the morning,
Yeah.
kind of like, I gotta wake up and have this meeting with this guy. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon there, 3:00 in the morning with me. But it's those things I did not realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's very important to delegate your tasks, and especially if you're in a phase that you want to grow your business and expand. Because if you keep holding on to that, that duty, or I'm going to do this, you won't be able to focus on growth.
Yeah.
So in regards to currently, is there what is your current strategy? Are you thinking of expanding, or are you quite comfortable to where you currently are?
Right now we're expanding still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're actually hiring currently, but as of this podcast being recorded, no, we're aggressively expanding. Yes.
Yeah. So you're recruiting more people to your team to manage this
hmm
growth. You are.
It was a conversation we had Friday that we are revamping and redoing some of our own personal Google ads and Facebook ads for Pathfinder Digital Marketing, and we are looking to do an aggressive growth moving forward through the rest of the
Right.
year.
Brilliant to hear. So obviously, how do you currently plan on expanding? What is your current kind of system for client acquisition? Because obviously you have a lot of achievements behind you. Does that naturally attract clients to yourself, or do you use other strategies as well as ads or outreach?
Well, clients that know what to look for, they do ask. They're like, "Oh, are you a developer? Where's your partnership badge?" or things like that. Because Google, for your partnership badge, Google has a partnership directory where you can look everybody up that's in it and see if you have someone in your local town, which I definitely recommend doing if you're a small business and you can budget for it. Hire a partner agency. If you can't, go to Fiverr and hire someone to do it for you because they're going to do a better job than you. Don't
Yeah.
do Google ads as a business owner as yourself. Hire someone in-house that knows how to do it. If you can budget it, find a partnership agency to work for or hire someone from Fiverr because they're going to do a better job than you are. Let's just put that out there first of all. And so with that, that's what I always recommend and tell small business owners to do.
Okay. So what does being in the top 3% of agencies mean for you and your clients?
Well, I want to be very clear. Number one is ad spend. That means my company handles a lot of money. That's
Okay.
literally
So
one of
that's
the
a
requirements for Google
3%. I
is like
see.
you have that one. So let's just make that very plain clear.
Mm,
That's one of the attributes. Second is when Google wants to see growth within the clients that you're handling and retention rate as
mhm.
well. They pay attention to our retention. And if I lose a client, I'm going to get a phone call from them and they're going to be, what happened?
Oh,
Sometimes it's something within my control. Sometimes it's
mm,
not.
mhm.
And so they do pay attention to those metrics and they do. If I touch an account, whether it's a website, Google My Business, Search Console, analytics, and very specifically Google Ads,
Mm,
I need to show growth within that
mhm,
business.
mhm.
People don't know. Google has an official complaint form for digital marketing agencies, whether they're partnerships or not. It exists.
Mhm.
I give my clients that complaint form. And I'm like, obviously, at any point in time, if you're not happy with my work, I would appreciate if you approach me first.
Yeah.
But the clear transparency between me and you, here is an official form from Google. It exists. A lot of people, tons of people don't even know that form exists. And it's a
I didn't
simple
know it existed.
who you are, what's your account number, who did you hire, what happened, explain to us why you think they didn't perform well, type of stuff. It's a very simple one-page form. And I give it to my clients because at any point in time, I'm being held responsible. My rep calls me. He's up in Atlanta and he calls me and we have a conversation about every single damn client once a month.
So obviously Pathfinder is very big on transparency.
Yes, we are.
What would you say that looks like day to day?
Well, we have Slack, which means all of our clients have 24/7 access to one of their team members, at the very least me, because I'm obviously in every single channel. And clients tend to give us, like, for example, clients will give us their personal login and passwords. And I immediately always tell them, hey, I appreciate the trust, but
Mm,
I don't need this at any point in time.
mm,
There's a right way to give us the correct access. And that's the day-to-day kind of, they're like, oh, well, our previous agency had our password. That's good. They shouldn't.
mm,
I was in a meeting with the CEO of Instagram in
mm.
California, and the
Wow.
first thing out of his mouth was, these business owners need to stop sharing their passwords. There's a
Mhm,
right way for agencies to access an Instagram account, and that's
mhm.
not password sharing. And then he continued his speech after that, but that was the first
Yeah.
thing out of his mouth.
Wow.
And it's having that I appreciate my clients trusting me. I stop them right there. We delete that conversation. I've told clients, hey, you need to change your password because I
Yeah.
don't need something to be held accountable, like to
Mm,
come back on us. So it's having that clear trusting. They trust us. They have
mm,
that transparency with us. That we use also Google Data Studio for reporting. I know a lot of
mhm,
agencies that use something internal. It's all pretty and whatnot. Pretty
mm,
doesn't mean effective at all.
mhm,
Google Data Studio, it's plain, it's straight, it very hard to lie and manipulate a Google Ad Studio
mm,
dashboard. So all of our dashboards are custom made for our clients. At the very least, they get
mhm,
one report a week from us. That's custom designed to their intent and what they want to know what's going on. Our
mhm,
Google Ads clients get 2 reports a week. Plus, anyways, so we use Data Studio for that reason. It holds us accountable as
mhm,
well. On top of that, that transparency holds a client accountable. One of my,
mhm,
my admin's responsibility is she does the to-do lists, which end up in Asana, but then she also puts a list in Slack for the client, being like, hey, last week we talked about social media content. You said you're going to give us 2 videos. We haven't gotten those videos yet.
mm. Yeah.
They're paying me for a service. I want to make sure I'm able to execute that service the best of my possibility. That also means we hold our clients responsible as well.
Just moving back in regards to the platforms, and you mentioned about there being a right way for you, like marketing agents, to have access instead of their passwords being provided. Could you just explain the steps to the audience? What are the proper steps, or just summarize if you
I'm
can?
actually making a YouTube video about that because for
You
whatever
are.
reason, Google cannot use the same verbiage across all the platforms. For example, if I need access to a Google My Business profile, it's called manager access. But
Mm,
if I need access to the same company's analytics, it's called administrator access. So, and then like it's labeled something else on YouTube as well. It's just a whole mess. So I have a video up on our YouTube on how
mm,
to give access to Search Console, GMB, and all that fun stuff. I need to make an updated video because they have since changed some things. But essentially, for if you're a business owner listening to this, you should own Google My Business listing, aka the map. It's called ownership. You should have admin rights, privileges to your Google Analytics, maybe Google Tag Manager, that just depends. And your Search Console, you should have verified ownership on your Google Search Console as well. And and then add the agency that needs access to what. Like for example, my SEO team, they have access to the WordPress site, the GMB, and the Search Console. They don't have access to analytics, so they're like, we don't need that.
uh-huh.
But, me as a business owner, I connect Search Console to analytics, so everything dumps nice and pretty into one dashboard, and we're able to do our work. But anyways, as a business owner, you should be delegating the access to your agencies and what they need to do their job. And the
Talking
agency
about
should be we're
delegating
very
again.
clear about that. Like, hey, this is what we need. A big one, of course, a big problem is Facebook and Instagram.
Uh-huh.
I'm not even gonna go into that, not specialist in it, but like my Facebook guy is like, hey, Mr. Client, and he has a step-by-step process of how to give us the correct access so we have because
Mm,
sometimes clients just give us access to freaking everything,
yeah.
and then I can plainly see their credit card number, and I'm like, we don't need this. This
Yeah.
is this is a problem.
Yeah.
They give and then, like, also with that, businesses need to realize that when they give access to agencies or employees, after they get rid of the agency or employee, they need to remove that access as well. I can't tell you how many times I go into a business account and I'm like, there's 20 people here.
Wow. Yeah.
Who are these people? And
Yeah. And
like,
they
oh,
all have access.
we fired them 3 years ago. Well, let's go
Mm,
ahead and remove them because I have literally ran into the issue. It happens where businesses call me and they'd be
mm.
like, hey, we fired this employee. We forgot they had access to our Instagram page and they deleted our Instagram page,
Wow. So you get those sort of businesses as well.
which
Wow.
was a source. This particular business, Instagram, was a source of revenue for them. It
Yeah.
was 25% of their monthly income was Instagram. Boop,
Yeah. So
gone.
you've just gone like that. So
Yep.
clearly it's very important. I mean, talking about the video, is that something that's already out there or is something you will create as an updated version?
I'm making the updated version of
Okay,
that.
so I mean, obviously if you create this by the time it's being posted, we can definitely link it below this podcast as well for anyone that is interested in the step by step. I think it will be
Yeah.
valuable.
I do free audits to help businesses with that
Yeah.
because they have marketing agencies, people with the wrong permissions or too much permissions. And
Mm.
then, God forbid, somebody just has an axe to grind. They're like, oh, I still have access to their analytics. Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely an issue.
Yeah. Touching point on your partnership with Smart Social, where you have ad literacy for kids in regard to teaching them about ads. So, do you mind just touching a little bit on this subject, exactly how you came to do this and how you educate kids in this area?
So when I was in school, digital marketing was not an option at career day. And I don't know if you guys have career day in the UK where people come by and they're like, look, we're construction workers, we're lawyers, we're blah, 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 that
Yes,
type
we
of
do.
stuff. All right, cool. Oh, career day, there was no, I don't think there was even a web developer on career day or coding or none of that stuff. Like growing up, I never took any of that stuff seriously. One time I was a junior in high school and I was like, they gave us this this physical copy of a document. They're like, this is going to help you figure out what you want to do when you grow up type of stuff. What you're going to do when you leave high school because you need to go to apply for colleges and you need to get colleges to look at you and all this shit, right? So they give that to me. And I remember this is the first time I'm seriously going to do this because they've given it to us before and I would just BS my way through it so I could just leave and go do something else like play soccer or for the rest of the educated world, football.
Mhm.
And so I was serious. I sat down and took the damn test. And that test at the end said my number one career choice in life was going to be a chimney sweeper.
What?
Yeah.
Wish you had a picture of it to actually
I
post where you
wish.
are now, what that assessment said where you're gonna be today.
Yeah. Yeah. And apparently this was one. Anyways, so here we are as running a digital marketing company. So there's that. And the reason I talk to kids, high schoolers, I give lectures to people in college, I give lectures to people in high school. Two reasons. One is practicing healthy online activities because we all do dumb shit. And I was one of those kids. I ended up in marketing and learning how to hack and learn my IT company that I own, 404 IT, which is this year, the first year I'm going to make it public facing. It's normally private. I have a lot of government contracts with them. And another reason why I started Pathfinder Digital Marketing instead of IT is because I don't like people calling me every single time a damn printer won't connect to the Wi-Fi. During Christmas, I'm the one connecting all the electronics because I'm the nerd in the family. So someone gets a new cell phone, I'm the one setting it up. But anyway, so online education for kids because they're more connected than ever. I'm a single dad to a child, and technology is a huge part of my child with special needs life in order to help him communicate with people. And he needs to learn how to use it in the proper way. And two, still to this day, schools and colleges don't understand this industry. It's a very poorly educated. I went on a date with a young lady and she was like, I just graduated from college somewhere down in Florida. And I was like, oh, what's your degree in? She's like, oh, I have a bachelor's degree in entrepreneurship. I was like, what?
I didn't know that existed.
Neither did I. I didn't know I needed one. Here I am running two companies.
Wow.
So I educate these children, these kids. I say children. I'm 38. I'm 39. They're all younger than me, is what it is. But and then having an understanding that, is there a place for college? Yes. Doctors, lawyers, certain
Mm.
engineers, absolutely. Go to college. But everything else you can literally learn for free from a YouTube video.
Nowadays you can, right? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, Google has amazing programs through Quora, Google Learn, Google Skill Shop, especially if you are a vet or
Yeah.
in the military, ex-military, that these courses can damn near have you career ready in 4 to 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the most expensive courses I actually paid for because we are also G Suite certified agency now. The G Suite certification is $1,000. I know a young lady up in Chicago. She charges $85 an hour to handle G Suite for companies.
Mm-hmm.
Google doesn't have the best customer support. It is what it is. They're okay. It's not really that good. Nobody wants to talk to somebody from India. It just is what it is. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
But
Fair.
she deals with her clients in Chicago, and she has a nice, healthy book of clients paying $80 an hour working on them. It only took $1,000 to get this dang certification. Tell me a college education that you can get with no debt coming out of it, making 80 grand a year. I mean, I'm sorry, and making $80 an hour type of stuff. So, um, I sit down, educate these children, especially also I have a part of my heart comes from children in trouble. And what I mean by that is because I actually have an arrest record. Anyone that Googles me, it'll come up somewhere. And that arrest record has followed me my entire life and has been a thorn in my side. And so a lot of kids that end up doing things that are wrong, that's a whole other topic on its own. These records follow them around and they can't get a good job. And so, I'm blessed to have a background in digital marketing, literally stumbling upon it and having a good mentor, and now having a comfortable lifestyle for me and my child. And a lot of kids, they feel like they're pressured to go to college for something that they don't need to go to college for. You don't need to get 100 grand, whatever it is nowadays, to get a degree, much less get a useless degree in like arts or something. So I talk to these kids and educate them. Mind you, I'm not best of friends with some recruiters because they're like, well, you need a degree, blah, blah. No, these kids need to have understanding. Plus with AI right now, who knows what's going to be available in the future? Like what new things are going to come out from this that we don't know about? What new jobs, new careers are
I
going to
actually think the younger generation is going to take hold of this AI, and they will be the ones that will make a lot of money, because they will utilize, because they understand the power of AI. And you educating kids is absolutely incredible, in this
Yeah.
area.
I have so I use Google Notebook. And so we have a personal AI that I designed structuring still at the house. And it's designed to help my child because like he has a speech impediment. And so Gemini does a lot of research on Down syndrome, mosaic Down syndrome specifically is what my child has. So it educates itself on what to expect when it's one-on-one with James, my child. And so there are things like that this is the world he's growing up in. As much as we like our kids to go outside and touch grass, yes, nothing wrong with that. Parents need to not fight technology and have a way where they can help their children understand how to be safe online, but then also just be aware that this is going to be they'll be doing their children not well if they don't let them understand how to use this type of technology integrate into their lives. Because chances are they might end up having a good possibility of a good job in this industry.
Yeah. So what would you say is working really well for Pathfinder right now? And what's been frustrating?
Well, it would be the same answer, content creation.
Content creation as the frustration or
And
what's
both.
work?
Both.
Both.
So last week, I picked up a client in Florida. First question on my mouth was, how did you hear about me? She's like, well, YouTube. She's like, Tony, I'm going to be honest with you. You weren't my first phone call. I watched your YouTube videos. I tried to call some marketing agencies closer to me. None of them answered the phone. So that's their fault. She's like, so I just called you and you happened to pick up the phone. She caught me at a good time. So every time I'm like, I really hate making content. I don't want to do it. I don't want to make my YouTube video. I don't want to post a podcast. I don't want to do this. I get a phone call from a lead and they're like, oh, we heard you on YouTube. Oh, we watch your podcast. We follow you on TikTok. We read your case study on LinkedIn. And I'm like, well, I guess we're still doing this crap. So the struggle is content creation because it's no longer fun anymore. And if you're listening to this and you're doing content creation, especially when you get to the point where you're monetized for some level, so Pathfinder and Tectoni and my personal page on Facebook are all monetized right now. And my social media marketing coach told me your lack of consistent posting isn't an excuse. It's you being lazy. Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay. Because there's conversations I have with him, and I'm like, you want me to post 9 times a day on Facebook? And his response to me was a minimum of 9. That's not counting video content. That's just posts.
Yeah.
And, I make money. I got an extra $300 last month from Instagram. It was through a mailbox, man, I wasn't expecting. And so as a business owner, it's frustrating because I'm like, I gotta make my damn content for the company. But then
Mm,
if I don't make it, I don't get leads, even though we run our own ads online.
mm,
It
mm.
it affects us. So
Yeah.
if I don't make content, we don't.
Yeah, and it's just so time consuming as well, isn't it? Content. And
I
obviously you
know.
mentioned you do plenty of other things. You also do accounting and service delivery, and then I'm pretty sure you want to be with the client building report as well. So it's like I don't even understand how you do everything.
Well, so I've been blessed because Tim works in the company. His job is in the company. My job is on the company. I work on the company, not in the company so much.
Do you
So,
mind to expand on that? What do you mean you work on the company, not
for
in the
example, he's in the Google Ads accounts way more than I am.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't touch Google Ads accounts as much as I used to. He gives me reports. He tells me how the account is doing. I can review them because then I have a meeting with the client to sit down with
Mm,
them once a month. A lot of our clients we meet with once a month. Some of our clients we meet with once a week to go
mm,
over what's going on, type of stuff, and whether it's good, bad, or ugly. And
mm.
so my job is to work on the company, make the content, write the case studies, be on, make the YouTube videos. We use Riverside just like you do. We use Riverside and Opus
Awesome.
Clips to help me make the content.
Yeah.
Ingrid, my admin, aids me in this. But at the end of
Mm.
the day, if I don't make the video, Ingrid has nothing to work with.
I see. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
gotta make the damn content because she doesn't know what cross domain tracking is in Google Analytics and how to track it and test it properly.
Mhm.
I do. So I make the YouTube video on that.
Yeah. Yeah, of
Um,
course. And did you say she kind of edits that, video? Is that correct?
Absolutely, yeah. We use Opus and we use also CapCut for a desktop, which is
Oh, I
totally
love
worth
CapCut. Yeah.
worth the money. Just buy it. It definitely helps. If you're a business owner wondering what programs to use, it's definitely worth using CapCut for desktop.
Yeah.
And
So
so
obviously we've expanded a little bit that you want to grow. You want to make sure Pathfinder grows from its current stage. So where do you really kind of see yourself in the next 6 to 12 months? What is your kind of dream goal that you're trying to achieve?
working less, which I don't know that's even a possibility. I look into these guys and they're like, I only work 3 hours a week. I'm wondering to myself, really? Do you?
Mm,
'Cause, like, I work with some pretty serious people in my industry that are way bigger, like Austin, owner of Sociality Pro. He probably owns one of the best AI generative companies in America right now. I see how much this guy works. It ain't no 3 hours a day, and he makes more money than me. And, there's, some other people that I work with. I'm friends with the owner at high level. He works as
mm,
well. These guys are millionaires. So I'm like, "You're always gonna work. It's your company." Where I see myself is hopefully integrating better AI into our systems because I want AI to get better so I can do more work in
mm,
less amount of time, make more money without having to rate like, 'cause I haven't raised my prices in the last 5 years 'cause, I kinda saw this AI trend coming down the road, and I was like, "Let's not raise prices and see how this goes."
mm.
Type of situation, which, we've lost like I said, we lost clients, got clients back. So I'm hoping in the next 5, 6, 7 years, whatever may happen, like, this is the type of job that I can do for the rest of my life, which I plan on doing
Yeah.
type of stuff where I retire and keep a select few clients,
Mm,
sell the company out type of situation. Because my child has Down syndrome, it is what it is. He's not going to run the company when he comes of age type of situation. But I want to be able. I'm hoping that AI is more useful and helpful in our industry, so we can continue growing, and I'm able to hire more people.
no, that sounds incredible. I hope as well AI becomes better. So obviously it helps a lot of us, remove
Or
the
AI
mundane.
goes rogue and becomes a Terminator. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh God, let's hope not. So, Anthony, thank you so much for joining us today. I really loved your approach with AI, but also still having the human touch and also having that educational side for especially kids. I think that's absolutely incredible. So, thank you for joining this podcast. And if people were looking into your services, where could they find you?
I'm everywhere now.
Search Tectoni.
Yeah, Tectoni without the H. I was trying to be
Yeah.
cool when I was branding myself, And now it just stuck. So it is what it is. So Tectoni without the HTEC, or just my company, Pathfinder Digital Marketing, or if you're in the Google directory, Pathfinder Digital Marketing as well, I pop up there also. And the Google Developer Directory or the Google Partnership Directory, you'll find me.
Everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we link all the websites below, just so it's easier for people to find you as well.
And in the description down below on this
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you very much.
thank you for having me. It's been great.